Welcome back, YouTube. We'll jump straight into the topic of today's video is 5 things that basically grind my gears when it comes to trainers in general. And this is also a good tip for anyone who's looking to be a personal trainer or even an online trainer. Do not do these things. I repeat, do not do these things. The number one thing that actually slightly irritates me to borderline getting PO'd is, and I'm sure you guys have probably seen this, especially at commercial gyms. We don't have to say any names, but a trainer will be with said client and, they're doing whatever exercise, it could be anything, and their client's form is just absolutely atrocious, like borderline getting injured. And the trainer's just standing there, not even paying attention. Just they could be counting 1, 2, but they're not even like paying attention to what their client's actually doing. They're too busy. Like, I've even seen them on their phone. I've seen them looking around the gym, standing there with their arms crossed, just totally disregarding what their client is actually doing. Do not be that type of trainer. Number one, your number one goal is basically to, help that person lift properly and not get injured, right? And you're just standing there basically giving no effort whatsoever. Number two, super duper common with online trainers is basically giving cookie cutter programs, not tailored to individuals at all. I've even seen it so bad where a client might have some type of physical limitation or a past injury, and the trainer just gives them a bunch of workouts that obviously are not going to be conducive to that person's healing process. So that also is just another sign of just like not even giving any effort to your individual clientele, right? Definitely not a good look. Number three, this would probably be just, excuse my French, but giving shitty advice. I've even seen some prep coaches tell people they need to eat like 3.5 grams of protein per body pound, which is just absolutely ridiculous, especially when they're like bulking. Obviously, most of the scientific data has shown that around zero point 0.8 to 1 gram per body pound is sufficient enough when you're trying to build muscle tissue or contractile tissue. Obviously, that does kind of revert if you're getting pretty lean. Obviously, you're going to taper up your protein a little bit just to keep that protein synthesis high, especially if you're a natural athlete. But like eating 500 grams of protein a day when you're like sub 200 pounds is just absolutely ridiculous. Number three, this is actually a pretty funny one, and I've seen it quite a few times actually. Is trainers trying to date their clients and like the trainer not really getting the hint. I've seen this a lot, especially with like younger crowd, trying to sell training or they sell a package and next thing you know, they're like trying to date their clientele. Obviously do not mix business, with pleasure, right? That's like a big no-no. Lastly, this kind of goes hand in hand with, just giving like crappy advice. But it's a little more finer detail behind it is trainers forgetting to ask about past like medical history or injuries. So this kind of goes hand in hand with that prior point, but I've seen clients, with other trainers basically complaining about, oh, I hurt my knee and it wasn't recovered enough and my trainer wasn't listening to me, or maybe they didn't disclose that they had a torn ACL and the trainer's like having them, do some exercises that are obviously putting a lot of pressure on the area. Definitely be careful with that, because sometimes people aren't going to be very forward with maybe some of their limitations. So that's definitely a huge question that you need to be asking your clients. And most people who are certified already know that, but I have seen it slip a few trainers' minds before, or, like I said, it might just go back to that number one issue of just a lack of effort with each one of their clients, which obviously, I mean, come on, you just got to pick it up. So those are definitely 5 things you need to avoid if you want to be even a halfway decent trainer. Those are like pretty much common sense. But just really pisses me off when you see that, especially when you know that some of these people are paying, top dollar for training, and their trainer just like doesn't even care about them at all. So definitely avoid that. All right, signing out. I actually have one more for you guys, a little bit of a bonus. So number 6. I didn't really want to add it at first, but I kind of thought about it a little bit. It's not a make or break for me, but it's definitely something I've noticed, is someone who is a trainer and they themselves are just completely out of shape, just beer belly Homer Simpson physique, just atrocious. Like, not even an older person either. Like, I feel like that could be one of the exceptions. If you see a very experienced trainer, maybe 40 years, 30 years working as a trainer, obviously they're in the later stage of their life. They don't really care about their physique. They're selling more their experience and the information that they can bring to the table. But man, if you are an able-bodied younger person and you just look like shit, it's just not a good look. You're a trainer, put in the effort. You need proof of concept to sell to your clients. You need to have at least a semi-decent physique if you're going to be training people. I mean, let's be real. It sounds a little bit, vain, but at the same time, you're supposed to be selling this dream goal and image to your clientele, and you just look like trash yourself. I mean, just pick it up. That's all I got for you guys. Signing out. See you soon.